Hi, Maddie here. Today I want to talk about my transition and holding on to my old life. It's really amazing being on the other side. I'm about a year and a half, a little more than that, into my transition. I came out and started officially my transition in June of 2019. So it's been a year and a half. And I remember before that, I just wanted to reflect on how much energy I put onto holding on to my old life. Yeah, so I would put a lot of mental energy for myself into what my family would think, what my friends would think, what my classmates and school teachers would think, what my university would think. It required a lot of mental energy from me to think, oh, what is it gonna be like if Matthew goes to Maddie? Like, what is that experience gonna be like? Trying to think and premeditate everything associated with that. Well, I'm here to tell you 1.6 months in that those relationships, a lot of them have kind of moved a natural course, and that's fine. Like, I think coming to terms with how relationships evolve, and it's not to say that they can't come back into my life or I can't come back into their life. Definitely been like something that I held on to so much. If you're just starting off, or even within the first couple months of your transition, make sure you allow yourself the mental freedom that comes with growing into a different set of relationships. And I will say 1.6 months later, it's been nice. I've developed some amazing new friendships. And yeah, it's really nice to see those. And some of the other friendships and family member relationships have evolved to like another level. So there's also that, because I think the more that you can be authentically how you are, the more people are attracted to that authenticity. But it's still so hard to do, and there's still so many times where, at least for me, I'm not all the way completely vulnerable, and I'm not always putting myself out there. I'm holding it in and reserved, and maybe not sharing as much. So that's something that, a characteristic that I've learned over my childhood, and something I've learned for like the first 30 years of my life, is that there are certain things that I share and certain things that I don't. And now I'm starting to slowly blur those, but I can't be too hard on myself, and neither should you. Change that mindset from a reserved to an open mindset, and finding a right comfort level that, really it is positive for everybody that's involved in it. And that takes time and learning, and just be gracious on yourself kind of through the process of re-identifying your identity and your authenticity. So yeah, the more you show up as yourself, the more it feels amazing. And the more new relationships and new energies that you attract into your life, and really be open and receptive to that from a positive mindset. I made some really good transgender friends, and then some of them are on different wavelengths, and that's perfectly fine. I think everybody every type of person, every community, there are always people on different maturity levels, or they're prioritizing different things, or they're focused on their self journey at a different point. So I try to offer a sympathetic ear to those at a different point in their journey. And I still have a long way to go on, and a lot to learn and listen. So so again, back to the original point, don't try to hold on to your old life, whether that was your old job, or your old friend group, or your old even your family. Like, the definitions for that can change, and you still want to be there for them, and I still make that a priority for me to be there for them. But I also create healthy boundaries around what's healthy for me, and being in an environment where you're looked at, or you're felt like you're some other object and like I don't really know how to interact. I'm sure there's some mirroring going on where you're like giving it to them and they're giving it to you and then you're giving it back. But I think, you know, stepping into a new environment is always a good way to really start attracting some of this positive energy. So that could be like a local community, a different community group, you know, join an LGBT thing, start mentoring somebody, find a mentor. There's a lot of amazing things out there. So those are some of my tips. Definitely, you know, message below on what you want to hear. I want to try to give my perspective. Like, what are the questions that are really important to you as you go through this? And yeah, I would like to grow too. So, you know, maybe there are things that you see in me that would be nice growth opportunities. So again, just wanted to share. Talk to you all later. Yeah, bye.